Red, black, Lurrus. It's a little bit more aggressively slanted because of both Dreadhorde Butcher and the Serrated Scorpion here, as well as Claim the Firstborn. Claim the Firstborn is not only a type of removal spell in this deck because of your ability to sacrifice things with Witch's Oven and Priest, but giving your Priest haste in a lot of situations can also be very good. Kroxa, Titans of Death's Hunger, is a sweet card that you can play over and over again from your bin with Lurrus, as well as something that kind of gives you a 4-drop in a deck that normally can't play a 4-drop with Lurrus. We just got done playing the white-black variation that felt very reasonable outside of the matchups that have sweepers in them. I'm interested to see if this, because it has reach in it with these, feels like maybe it's a little bit better there. Let's go ahead and dive on into some games and see how it goes. If you have, say, a Fiend Artisan, where does that fall under still Silver Bullets? Fiend Artisan isn't a card like... Fiend Artisan isn't Court of Calling. It isn't Eldritch Evolution. It's incredibly slow and clunky and frequently going to die before it can search anything up. So I don't think Fiend Artisan really helps you find one-ofs more consistently. Will you be able to tell me which of these is better by the end of these 5 short matches? Probably not. Honestly, I really kind of like that these Lurrus decks are popping up as the better aggro decks in the format. I greatly prefer playing against these Lurrus decks than I do to the Embercleave decks from previous seasons. In my opinion, the play patterns overall of playing against these Lurrus decks are much better and much more attackable than the pseudo-combo red cleave aggro decks we've been dealing with for so long. Any favorite standard deck, not just from today? You can find a bunch of my different favorite decks up on my website now. JeffHoagland.com. Click standard decks at the top. Crunch. Speaking of getting cleaved, did we do this to ourselves? I feel like we did this to ourselves. Looking at the types of cards we're playing, I have to imagine this matchup's pretty okay for us, but we also aren't drawing spells, so we've got that problem. I just misclicked the Whisper Squad. Well, you know. I guess this means they can't double block the Dreadhorde Butcher, but still not a good look. I'm frustrated by your example / explanation of sideboarding because it required more thought and time than a Twitch clip could provide. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Unsure, Rake. So, like, when we were talking about Shock being really good earlier, in part of the thing that we were talking about was that it was better than Bone Crusher Giant. Mire's Grasp is more removal for the same rate. So, like, Shock versus Bone Crusher is super dead to cleave, as always. Shock versus Bone Crusher is 1 mana or 2 mana for 2 damage removal. Whereas, like, the other one is comparing having more effect, right? But it's not as clean. Blocking the Runaway Steamkin here means if they make mana with it post-combat, they lose their Steamkin, so that's nice. They go to 10. We're going to grab 2 Whisper Squads here. Do we have any live draws to win this game? Priest of the Forgotten Gods could maybe let us win this game. Well, they didn't have cleave last turn, right? So what are the odds? Lurrus or cleave is the stronger deck. I have no idea, Nemesis. Anybody that tells you they have confidence in what's better at this point, they're idiots or they're lying to you. They just don't understand how to evaluate Magic. So they didn't have cleave a second ago. So that means it's on top of their deck. If we pretend it's not on top of their deck, what's my best line here? I think it's Lurrus, replay the Scorpion. Play a tap land. Back in my day, this tree was paper and hosted decks on the Mire. God, it's changed a lot here. Bump up your favorite Royal Scions deck. Sounds good, Beetle. Yeah, not having an oven. Not having an oven here is challenging. They can't block Butcher or it kills Torbrand. I don't think I want to trade Butcher for Annex plus Torbrand on this board. If you feel differently, please explain why. What if I do this? That's lethal, right? Sick. Cannot steal Torbrand. It costs 4 mana. Alright, Mire's Grass seems insane here. Hey, Lord Aaron, thanks for 11 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Cratermaker actually doesn't seem terrible. Just as like an expensive shock that gives me a little utility. How do I feel about cutting Kroxa here? I think it's Kroxa. We'll bring in a Cratermaker. That seems fine. Weird play that they didn't have Embercleave. Man, I've developed one of my takeaways from playing this set and the last one is I definitely have a bit of respect for Whisper Squad. after playing these games. Whisper Squad has been genuinely impressive. Squad goals. Whisper Squad is the lingering souls of this format. You know, that's a pretty apt comparison, I think, honestly. Whisper Squad's what? 5 mana for 3/1/1s? Whereas Lingering Souls is 5 mana for 4/1/1s. Not exactly the same, but kind of comparable, yeah. They have an exile removal for Butcher here. I'm a little bit sad that I didn't play the Oven instead of the Scorpion, but I think that's correct. Only have 1 card in their bin currently. Phoenix of Ash takes 3 to escape. They must have Bone Crusher Giant here. They're in the tank about whether or not they want to kill my thing, perhaps. Leading on Oven before Priest, so this way if they kill the Priest, I can sack it in response. Barbs, thanks for the 2 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. I'm excited for the Open too. And then Oven protecting this from Scorching Dragonfire here means that if I hit a Black Source next turn, I can play Lurrus and get the Priest back, which is great. I'm going to pump up the Phoenix here. Is there a waitlist for the Open? Not an official one, I don't think. Let me actually ask in the Melee Discord and ask if they support a waitlist. Can't remember if they do or not, otherwise we'll have to start some type of thing. Me too, extras. I'm glad people see him engage with it. I think it's gonna be a good community building thing, I think. It's nice to be able to provide good coverage for an arena event as well. I think arena really provides a good spectator experience. I'm a little bit sad that there aren't more events with good coverage. I was excited to see, it looked like E-League returned with their arena stuff and they're doing live matches this time instead of pre-recorded, which I think is a good step up. Game seems pretty over at this point. You get to eat a food. Yeah, I agree with that. That is a spit. Dreadhorde Butcher has been impressive so far. Interested to see what it feels like in more places. think. Yeah, priest, having something to always do with your priest mana is sweet too with the squad, I agree. Have a hard time with gooses. There aren't a lot of geese in the format at the moment, I feel like. This build definitely feels more aggressive than the black-white build. Did I just click through activating my cat? Definitely did. So last one for the day or going later. If we stay about 2,200 people, I've got another deck queued up. But I'm waiting to see 4:30, 5 o'clock. My viewers tend to drop off a little bit, so I'm gonna see. Wait to commit to that until we're closer to the end of the set. So I'm gonna play this deck for another hour still. Not mess that up this time. You know, honestly, I think I'd rather just have a second oven than play one of my 2-drops here. I know it's not particularly resource efficient, but I think it's what I want to do. The next deck, if we get to it, is a Temur Luca deck. Let's say a variation on the red-green Luca deck that we played a little bit of. That might be sweet. It's a little bit less all-in combo-y, but still has the ability to get early Godzillas. Yeah, it has. I think it has 2 or 3 Scions in it. I think Bant Gyruda is worth it. I would be surprised if there's not some form of Gyruda that's competitive. And I think the Bant variation is my preferred at the moment, the one that's up on my website. I think the archetype really struggles against Flash, but I'm also haven't been convinced that Flash decks are very good in this format. Correct. People are still going to play it for sure. I agree with that. This reads cast, so it cannot be used with Fabled Passage, which is unfortunate. Yeah, the Sultai Gyruda deck we played yesterday felt really pretty awful. I really didn't feel like the Bant build had people running under you. The Bant build with all the various life gain creatures really felt like it had good play against the aggressive decks. Hey, thanks for the 15 months, Matt. Welcome back. We do not make fun of players while commentating on them. We will be critical and point out when you do something that we feel you could have done better or more optimally. But that's very different than making fun of the players. Alright, no cleave yet. You can feel free to make fun of me. I am bad at this game. We'll be playing a bad deck. God bless, Beetle. What's my ideology for picking feature matches? Well, round one's going to be Brad Nelson. So whoever gets paired against Brad's going to be round one. One of the first match in round one. Past that, I don't know. I think my goal overall for the day is, my goal overall for the day is to try and feature both different players and different decks throughout all the different matches. Goal will be to put a lot of different variety on. So, do I just pass here then? And I can like triple block, shoot a champion, double activate Whisper Squad, plus like loop with the ovens a little bit here? That's a good note. I should see if the plugin I'm using supports that. Artsy, I bet it does. Add banner, plugin, support, opening links in new tab. Thanks for the feedback. You are correct. That would be ideal behavior. Do I even need to block with this? I think I want to have more attackers in the backswing, right? So I'm going to get to bring Cat back and forth 3 times here and deal some damage to them. I'm going to have to put 2 Whisper Squads into play here, which is great. Yeah, they don't have a cleave. It feels like if they don't have cleave, they just can't win. They're just like dead next turn, right? This probably explains, we were talking earlier about not having seen much mono red on the ladder. Like, these games, like, we really stumbled this game, and like, their start was reasonable, and like, it feels like this game has not been close. Which, honestly, God bless. I think this iteration of mono red from last season is god-awful to play against. Really hate the card Ember Cleave. So, like, not sad in the slightest to see, like, the deck get edged out. And we're going to board like we boarded last time. We're going to cut these Kroxas. We're going to bring in the Mire's Grasp and a Cratermaker. Sounds good. Yeah, Chump Blocker, some incidental life gain. Good combination. To the person that was asking, MTG Melee does not currently support an official waitlist feature. They're going to add that at some point, though, they said. Lurrus is the new mono red, changed my mind. I mean, Lurrus is the new premier aggro deck for sure. And again, I like as someone who before Embercleave, playing against aggro was something I typically enjoyed, and I like playing against this iteration of an aggressive deck, this Lurrus deck, much more than red on average. Is this a mulligan? Feels like a mulligan. Just no one drops. Claim is pretty good, but like if they kill my priest, the claims don't really do anything. Is MTG Melee gonna track tournament data? Yeah, I mean, you could go to MTG Melee right now and like look at their previous information extras. There's a ton of data up there from events that have happened already. I think I want to bottom that. That's probably better than this. It's definitely a keep. The question is, what are we throwing away? This is the last one for today. If we stay above 2,000 viewers through the end of the set, I'm going to add one more deck. If we drop off, this will be my last one. So nobody leave. If you want another video set today, just hang out. Got at least one more in me. Whew! Whew! Oh, man. When you get to not only 1-for-1 the annex, but better, right? Like, I get the token and a food. That's pretty good. Pretty not bad. Is it crazy to eat this food? I feel like it's not. Alright, untapped land tier is great. My personal preference is leaning towards this red build for Lurrus preferences. I like being more aggressive, and this build definitely feels more aggressive. Sure, but so I agree with your assessment that claim seems good, but you could do more than just saying claim seems good. Is lazy. So long as people who have already hit can max key protagonist, that's not a big deal. So for example, a good way to articulate this red build is the red build I am enjoying more or feels more powerful because it feels more aggressive than the white build, and being more aggressive feels like the appropriate role for this archetype to me. The devil is in the details. You played versus a Lurrus Oven siblings in Historic. Yeah, that sounds sweet. I think if this connects, how do we feel about just sacking this to kill their thing? Probably okay. Yeah, I think exploring the archetype with Obish is actually a really kind of neat exploration to be doing. I think there's some real potential there for something to be very good. My play here is real bad if they drew Cleave, but... Kinda need to draw a live one here, huh? Okay, that's kind of a live one. It does at least let me cast the Dreadhorde Butcher. And then I have 2 foods I can eat. So I'm at a virtual 12. Yeah, cat would be a great top deck, big agree. Yeah, sorry, to not derail fully, I think the exploring Ubush variations, the odd champion, seems potentially very good. Alright, so I just need to draw any creature here, please. Any creature would be great. Huh. So is this lethal? So I Dreadhorde, I hit them for 2, they go to 10. And then I have 4 more plus 2 more, so I have 6, so I can only put them to 4, so it's not quite lethal yet. Yeah, it's like I'm trying to figure out, do I want to put the Dreadhorde Butcher into play, or do I want to put the Scorpion into play? I think the answer is Scorpion. I'd kind of like to go to 4. Don't grasp the giant, chat. You're gonna have a real bad time. Stop it. Get some help. Whew! Alright, they might have some draws that kill us here, but like, good lord. Good golly. Alright, GG. Get in the box. Mono red. Alright, well, I like how we kind of answered our question where the mono reds went. I kind of want a 3rd copy of this in my 75. Is it crazy to play a third copy of this over the fourth Kroxa? I want to let you know that because of your influence, how much fun you seem to have, I started streaming. I have no fancy it'll become a job, but I'm having fun hanging out with people and playing games while I do. Hey, congrats. I'm glad you're enjoying yourself, Yummy. Is it crazy to play a third copy of this? I feel like most games I want to see one, right? It's like this is your more copies of Lurrus, basically. Like you can't play more copies of Lurrus with Lurrus as your companion, but like this is it's like the next best thing. You're playing 4? Yeah, I can see 4 being okay. It's like your best top deck in the late game once they've killed your Lurrus, right? Could definitely see getting to 4 being correct. Yeah, Death Touch on Butcher is also great. Why did I say don't grasp the giant? Because the giant deals damage to you when it dies. Is this the same person or is this a different name? I don't remember what the last person's username was. And then, hey, if they kill this, we like go call the Dark Dwellers and bring them both back. Thassa blinking the mutate creature separates them. Yeah, sounds good, Yummy. I'll get those added after we're done today. Yeah, I feel it's kind of funny, right? Like we just got done talking about how like we haven't seen mono red in forever and just like 3 mono reds in a row. The interface for adding the counters there is super clean, by the way. That was great. Alright, so this is an Ember Cleave, right? So I'm going to say no blocks. Hey, Drewski Brood. Thanks for the sub-gifties. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Well, this turn's going to be good. It's going to be an above-average turn, chat. Is this lethal? It's not quite, but it's close. That. Wow. Basic land, 6 for the 15 months. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Yeah, call the Death Dweller, chat. That's pretty not bad. Pretty not bad. This hand's a little close, I think. There's no sack to go with the claim. For the record, just to be clear, I think claim is great. I tend to run my channel and my timeouts using, by the guidance of the big Lebowski. You can be right and still get timed out here. It's not just about being correct, it's about the presentation and the way you go about being correct that matters. Past not just past just being correct and being reasonable while being correct, there's also the important detail of explaining why you're correct. You know how your math teachers always told you you had to show your work? Think of this stream as your math class. Help the other pupils learn. Help me understand that you know why you got the right answer. We do tell them that all the time. Show your work. The devil is in the details. Opponent's been hurt by the cat before. Opponent's been hurt by the cat before. I mean, they weren't just conceding to the claim, right? Like, they were conceding to the fact that I had claim plus cat plus oven. Do I have a number of the money I've thrown into MTGA? Yeah, I could give you a total if you want. Do you want to know how much we failed for? I got spreadsheets, chat. It's all tax deductible. Taxes. For 2019, I spent $2,019.12 on Magic the Gathering Arena for 2019. For 2020, so far, I have spent $399.95. Did I put money into Arena in 2018? I bet I did. Spreadsheets going back to 2018. For 2018, I spent $1,092.83. So that's like $3,500 into my Arena account. Thereabouts. Not an exact number, but $3,500 approximately. In order to be able to rent any card on most Magic the Gathering online rental accounts, I believe it's north of $100 per month. And how much did I get from Wizards of the Coast? 0. Yeah, but like for 2018, I had to buy a whole bunch of standard legal cards, right, Maven? So like that doesn't really matter. Clearly, Magic, like Raid, is pay to win. What am I doing here? I think it's just like Kroxa plus Whisper Squad. I could also just like squad, find another squad member. I think I'm gonna do that. You pay $60 a month to Mana Traders. Sure. About $25 for 800 tickets worth of cards breaks. About $100 a month. Sure. About $100 a month is. Sure, yeah. If you, I'm explicitly talking about having everything, right? So probably about $100 a month to have everything, actual everything. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Per month to rent stuff on Magic Online. And again, that's a rental, so when you stop paying, you stop having access to cards. Yeah, plus on Magic Online, you have to spend $10 for every event that you play. It's also accurate. Unless you're winning an okay amount. To be fair, if you're winning 40% of your matches, you win. You get it's only $5 per set. No, we were talking about my Arena costs. Looking at my spreadsheets from the last 3 years, I've spent about $3,500 on Magic Arena. I guess I'm just doing this and playing a Whisper Squad Feels like we're stalling out, though, here. Interested to see what this matchup plays out like. I think these Deafening Clarion decks tend to be bad matchups for archetypes like what we're playing in general. You know, it takes about 200 booster packs per expansion on Magic Arena to have full sets. You think we're supposed to attack? You think I want to give up a thing for 3 points of damage? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I think you're probably right. Because now they're all gone and I get nothing. Is it worth not playing around Clarion? Yes, because we can't beat Deafening Clarion. This is a deck where you frequently, the answer to how do you beat Deafening Clarion is you don't. Yes, you'll be short some mythics, but like, I mean, you all see the range of decks I play here on this stream, right? Like at 200 packs a set, I generally have enough mythics. So I actually don't pay any taxes, or Wizards doesn't charge me additional taxes for however it sets up in my state. I pay $100 to Wizards for the gems that I get. So there's no taxes on top of that. The taxes must come out of Wizards on the back end. I don't know how their tax bracket works. There's no sales tax in my state from this. Is Kroxa a card I want here, or is this too slow and mopey? Is it crazy to cut Kroxa because I just want to run them down? I feel like it's not. I don't get tax, Brad. My last few purchases... Are you paying with a credit card, Brad? If you pay... I pay with PayPal every time. If you're paying with a credit card, try paying with PayPal. Maybe they charge you extra if you pay with a credit card. But my PayPal is tied to my Illinois address. Yeah, try PayPal if you have it. The last few times I've not. I got charged tax at one point, and maybe I did use the credit card for that. I'll have to go back and check if the one or two times I got charged the extra tax, it was on my credit card or not. No, Brad lives in Illinois. He's someone that does NRG stuff. As someone who was born in Illinois and never really gave much thought to it, this whole pandemic thing has really made me appreciate living in Illinois. Like the way the governor in Illinois has handled things has been very, very good and proactive. Stay safe out there if you're in one of those backwards southern states that decide listening to science doesn't make sense. Yeah, Leyline of the Void from the Fires deck seems weird. Feels like they're hedging a matchup that's already good for them. It's not just limited to southern states, that's true. Most of the bad ones I've seen offhand have been in southern states, though. You are correct. Is New York already pushing to open things? Which states are pushing to open things? Georgia and Florida are both southern states, and those are the ones I've seen pushing to open things already. I know Las Vegas had their person get on and say something terrible, offering to sacrifice people. The Vegas volunteered its citizens for sacrifice, yeah. Worth noting here that Leyline of the Void does stop death triggers from happening. So if they sweep my board, I do not get 2 from this, and I do not get 2 from this. They are just gone. Yeah, I was actually really disappointed. I thought that maybe this would be one of those things where we would finally break partisan lines in some ways. but the Ohio governor was talking about trying to start opening things back up again, and that he had been doing a very good job, from my understanding, but yeah. Alright, so untapped land is lethal. Very, very close to lethal. So close. If we'd hit an untapped land, we'd have gotten to activate this and kill them. If they don't have another Clarion here, we should be good. Alright, so untapped land is lethal. Untapped land is lethal. Untapped land is lethal. As far as non-untapped land draws go, this is towards the top. Yeah, Leyline definitely won them this game. If governors listened to scientists, they wouldn't be able to hear lobbyists telling them how much money is in their bribe. Come on, pretty kitty. One pretty kitty. One pretty kitty, please. Meow. Meow. Where were you for the last 2 turns, Fabled Passage? Where were you for the last 2 turns, Fabled Passage? Feels magic, man. Feels magic. Very, very close on the back of the threaten effects there. Almost stole it. Yeah, the Fabled Passage would have been lethal either of the previous 2 turns. Bottom, the second oven here, I think. You see this get Scorching Dragon fired or stomped here. Quench, sure. Woof. I mean, having large-scale testing, from my understanding, is the bare minimum requirement for starting to open things up. Like that's the floor of the requirements, is having more testing. Because if you're able to actually determine who you need to be quarantining, including people who are asymptomatic. think I just pass here. Yeah, I agree, Zerim. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of colleges and universities were closed for a while, and maybe public schools too. We'll see. In peak GOP fashion, the Wisconsin Republicans, they decided they wanted to delay their convention, but they also decided to file a lawsuit trying to block the governor from keeping stay-at-home orders in place. So, like, they don't think it's safe for them to have their convention, but they also wanted there to not be a stay-at-home order. You work for Vanderbilt University, and we are not planning on being open in the fall. Yep. Yep. In Germany, they're going to start opening schools with 7 people in rooms at a time with being time shifted. Calling the virus a hoax while wearing N95 masks. Yep. That's because a lot of those protests are astroturfing operations, just to make you feel better a little bit about it. Those are paid protesters in large part. Added 2 more questing beasts. If you actually check the list on my site, Ashworld, I added more questing beasts too. This is a very good draw. Create quite the spectacle here, hopefully. That's a good one too. Anybody hungry for some Bone Crusher Giant? I know I am. Robber the Rich sounds great. Rix Maadi there. Can we pour one out for Rix Maadi, by the way? That was impressive. How many claims do I want to keep in my deck? Is it crazy to keep 2 claims in here? They have, actually, is it crazy to keep all 4? They're an Uro deck, right? They have Uro, they have Bone Crusher. Yeah, maybe swap one of these for a Libation, because it also deals with those things, but also takes their enchantment off the table. Yeah, I can randomly haste the priest as well. Let's do this. We didn't see Uro, but I think it's a pretty safe assumption that they're blue-green. They're blue-green decks playing Uro in this format. I think Fiend Artisan is kind of slow and clunky, and I think the thing that this deck has going for it that's good is the fact that it's an aggressive deck. This feels like the premier aggro deck in this format to me. It's my favorite meme deck of this format so far. The Jeskai Winota deck's kind of a hoot, Jeskai Rudas. The meme decks we played so far actually feel kind of competitive. Both Jeskai Winota and the Gyruda decks have been a total treat. I've really, really liked them. Yeah, I big agree. The Jeskai Winota deck feels like if you're running well, you can beat basically anything. What about their deck, Lillicet, makes you think they don't have Uro? Can you explain? What piece of information do we have that makes you think they don't have Uro? Help me understand. Night Stars, thanks for the 25 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. I mean, the point of their deck is they don't have to tap out, though, right? Oh, you know what? My sequencing here is wrong. I should be playing these post-combat in case they have another Frilled Mystic. Or post-blockers in case they have another Frilled Mystic. What's actually the expectation? If I'm being honest, I was not expecting Mutate to be good at the start of this format either. And Mutate has become my favorite mechanic. Mojo, thanks for the 21 months. I appreciate that. Welcome. It's felt incredibly, incredibly competitive. I have no idea why they waited. They could have punished me for my mistake and they elected not to. That's aggressive. Yeah, I agree, Extras. I actually think Mutate's more powerful than Bestow was. And if you would have asked me to compare them before playing with them, that definitely would not have been my answer. Was not expecting them to feel comparable. All right, first Lurrus Mire, probably red black as well. I figured the opponent would aggressively mulligan to Uro. I think that's not a good take. I think aggressively mulliganing to Uro, if you're aggressively mulliganing to Uro in the aggro matchups, that's not a good play. You say Mutate has felt incredibly competitive. Yeah, if you haven't watched us play the blue-black flash deck with the Mutate cards in it, and haven't checked out the Teamer Mutate deck that's on my website that we played in a few different iterations, if you didn't see the blue-green Mutate ramp deck we played earlier today, we played a Jeskai Snapdax Mutate deck. We played a lot of different flavors of Mutate that have all felt very, very reasonable. Yeah, I agree, JBL. It's like a very unique It's a very unique enters play effect, basically. I think people have been so caught up in whether or not the companions are good, they've basically forgotten that, like, mutate was a thing. Yeah, I agree with that. They nailed the mutate balance, and the other things have just been overshadowing it. I think I'm going to go ahead and just churn through my deck here a little bit. I'm going to hold on to the claim, because it's basically a removal spell. We haven't played against a lot of people playing mutate cards either, but we've been beating a lot of people with our cards that say mutate on them. Can I just say I love that, by the way? Because we've been encouraging people to screen share for the opens, there's been a ton of different people, especially in the evenings when I'm off, just like screen sharing their games with other subs in the Discord server, and it's great. I even poked into them a couple of times myself. Is Cage good against Winota? Yeah, I think it is, Brad. I think if Cage doesn't impact your deck, it should definitely come in against Winota. And stops her trigger cold. You've been playing the Ubush version and it's sweet. Yeah, I believe that, Maddie. Did it mutate my Smuggler's Copter and Pioneer? God, the Pioneer ban list is such a stain, chat. It's such a god-awful stain. Maybe I shouldn't have burned that there because they have their Lurrus. How does Cage stop Winota? Cage says creatures can't enter play from libraries. Winota's putting cards into play from your library. Cage stops Gyruda as well. I agree. Cage is a premium sideboard card right now. For sure. Cage does not stop you from playing your companion. No. I think I'm hanging out with the Lurrus until I can play it and cast something back meaningful at the same time. Birthing Pod. Wake. That was printed in the same format as Birthing Pod. What would it take for you to be Pioneer? For Pioneer to become a format I'm interested in again. A rework of the ban list. They would need to ban every one of the new combos that they printed in Theros, or they would need to unban all of the cards that they wrongfully banned from the other set. Smugglers. I would need Smuggler's Copter back, Felidar Guardian, and a whole bunch of other things. I think, in my opinion, the only things that are appropriate to leave on the Pioneer ban list are Veil of Summer and Once Upon a Time. Field of the Dead should come back, yeah. Mirror matches are fun. I mean, what's wrong with this? I mean, like, this game's kind of interesting. We've got some back and forth here. Like, we're kind of in a holding pattern, But for the time being, there's decisions to be making, right? Like, at this current point in time, I think with my Lurrus over here, I'm currently ahead. And I have a cat in an oven and they don't. Can we leave Nexus and Green Leyline on the list too? No, I don't think so. I think if we think Inverter and Heliod combo are okay, Nexus of Fate and Green Leyline are 1000% okay. Not even close. Well, and that's why the Ubush variation seems interesting, because while the Ubush variation doesn't get to play Lurrus, it does get to play Mayhem Devil. Yeah, and the Ubush version gets to play 4 copies of Lurrus in the main deck. You do miss Priest. And again, like, people complaining about these companions are just so silly in my opinion, because this discussion that we're having right here, the discussion about, okay, what are we giving up and what are we gaining with the different things we have the option to play or not, that's awesome. That's one of the best things about Magic the Gathering, is having those discussions about what's potentially good and what's potentially bad. And the companions just add this other layer to that onion of, well, how are we working this? Okay, now we're super far behind. They hit a call into running. They hit running claims into call, and now we're super far behind. Davion Thorell, thank you for the Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome. It's much easier to just say companions are stupid and I hate them and neener I want to get rid of all of them than it is to like sit there and think about all the possible things you can be doing with them. I want to leave Lurrus in here, I think, in case we draw a reanimate card. Thanks, Devian. If you like the Mutate deck we played earlier and you're newer to the channel, be sure to check out my website. There's a favorite. We play, you know, half a dozen decks a day here usually during release time. Even during non-release times, we play 3 to 4 decks a day. Lots of great things to check out up on the website. Lot of variety in this stream. Goodbye, kitty. Gargos and Forerunners have been good. Forerunners seems fun. What does Gargos do again? Oh, the Hydra. That's cute. Is the Hydra better than the Ape? Oh, the Hydra triggers when you mutate. That's hilarious. The Hydra triggers when you mutate. That's great. Love it. Yeah, I kind of agree, extras. I think if we think there's too many of the same companions being played, I kind of love the companion mechanic in general. And I think the appropriate answer isn't ban them. I think it's print more of them. In my opinion, I'd just like to see just a wider variety of companions for people to be playing. Hey, thanks for the 7 months, Wanna Be Kurt. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. With them having Priest active and me having the life total lead, I just want to get this game over with. It's real good, Maddie. About the consistency argument, it's really bad for decks to be more consistent. Is that a good? Yeah, I agree. And like, one of the things I really hate about the consistency argument with companions, Floppity, thanks for the 10 months. If you run the math on how likely are you to have a 4 of in your deck list in a given game of Magic by turn 4. Magic already has a pretty reasonable amount of consistency. Like, it's like 60%, I believe, is the numbers. Like, you are pretty likely to have a 4 of by turn 4. Sure, but it's not even just about once upon a time consistency across the spectrum. Once upon a time, not only added consistency to green decks, but once upon a time added consistency in a way that made deck building uninteresting. In my opinion, I love the deck building aspect that I've experienced with Companions so far. Companions are not only adding consistency, but they're adding another layer to the deck building aspect that's the best thing about Magic, in my opinion. Yes, they also have made the game more skill intensive by making more matches of Magic have pseudo-public deck lists game 1. When there's information available before you take your first mulligan, those games automatically favor the better players more because they get to start the game making better decisions with more information. One of the old Hex TCG game I used to stream, they had like a champion similar to Hearthstone that you associated with your decks. And being able to mulligan with that small little bit of information is so important and adds so much extra depth to the game. I don't know. We could end up being wrong, and they could end up being too good, maybe, but I'm super optimistic about what Companions could do for the game long term. I don't know what Wizards' plans are, but if Companions ended up like Planeswalkers and just something we got a few of every set, I think that would be a good thing. You dedicate a sideboard slot, companion you don't use, reveal it game 1, and don't play it to mess with the opponent's. So long as your deck meets the requirements for that companion, you cannot reveal a companion if you don't meet the requirements for it. In order to reveal a companion at the start of the game, your deck has to meet the requirements for that companion. Our opponent's ovens have definitely kept them in this game for a pretty long time. Can you play more than one companion? No, you can only reveal one companion at the start of the game. If you've not watched the video explaining the details of companions, I'd encourage you to go do that. Wizards of the Coast had a great spotlight article at the start of the set. Yeah, you could, if your deck meets the requirements for 2 companions, you can have 2 in your board and then choose which one you reveal at the start of the game. But actually, I don't actually think Magic Arena supports doing that, right? That's how that works, but Arena doesn't currently support doing that. Arena supports changing which companion you have during sideboarding, but it doesn't support if you have 2, pick which one you reveal. Yeah, it does not. MTGO does, yes. Yeah, you have to assign the special slot the way. Yeah, so Arena technically doesn't handle that corner case in the way it should. from a technical perspective and in reality how it works out, that's probably not that big of a deal. But if there were more companions available, that could end up being a bigger deal down the line. Alright, do I escape this Kroxa to deal another 3 points of damage to my opponent? I think I do. I think I do. This, using my oven here, gets kind of punished if my opponent draws their 4th Claim the Firstborn. But I think I'm okay with that. Yeah, 4 mana Lava Spike, untap your creature. Speaking of claiming firstborns, alley-oop. I don't die to another claim there, right? Because I had a blocker, technically. Is there an order of who reveals companions first? Yeah, it should be the active player first. Should be whoever's going first, I believe. Many cats were cooked in many pies, chat. Yes, Arena technically does not handle that start of game procedure the way the Magic the Gathering rules dictate they should handle it. So this does 2, we draw a card, this does 2. So they need to eat this food and they lose this cat and they're out of food now. It's been a heck of a game 1. I did not think we were going to win this game. I thought we were behind for a little bit, but we definitely caught up, huh? They're not quite dead yet, but they should be dead next turn. They can only do 1 more. Oh, you know what's sick, chat? I missed lethal here. I could have targeted myself with Priest, brought the cat back in response to my Priest trigger, sacked the cat, looped the cat here, and then brought the cat back with this other food. So if I would have targeted myself with Priest there, I could have killed them last turn. I don't think they have a series of draws to punish us, but like in the event that they did, that's something worth thinking about when we have an extra food lying around. When they still have 2 lives, you lost. No, it targets everybody. You target any number of players. Priest is not a single target. They're actually getting pretty close to punishing us for missing this year. Yeah, targeting yourself with Priest was something that came up pretty frequently when you were playing Mayhem Devil variations of this archetype, just because targeting yourself to sacrifice with that would frequently deal you enough damage to deal lethal. Yeah, like Rix Maadi into double Scorpion here is like, into Castle into double Scorpion is like pretty tough. The lines on Priest run deep for sure. Alright, so they're dead. Almost punted here. Gosh, this game's been long, huh? Like, my opponent has 18 minutes left, and I only have 19 minutes left. So, like, just a super genuinely long game of Magic. Alright, Cratermaker and Grasp both seem good. What are my cuts? Dreadhorde Butcher seems bad. Probably can never get in. Yeah, we both spent 10 minutes playing and taking game action and making decisions there. Do we need Leyline for the Mire? Nah, it's fine. Yeah, extras, you get 30 minutes per match. It's super long. Super long. I'm gonna trim the Scorpion here. Maybe the Scorpion's wrong to trim because it gives us life. Was a blue-green Panda? It was awesome. I might have, I added King of the Cosmos to it, but the core idea for the deck was phenomenal. I genuinely think there's something there. Panda was the initial mastermind to put together the core of that archetype that we played this morning. Was a delight. This card seems insane in the Mire, by the way, huh? It kills Priest, it kills Lurrus, it kills Oven. Seems real good. Deadweight is very good, the Mire as well. We have 4 Mires, but the more efficiency on deadweight seems like a real big deal. Yes, we are still just barely above 2,000. I'm gonna add one more deck today. We're gonna play Teamer Luca after this. End on a bit of a brew. I'm gonna shock in this land so I can activate Cratermaker should they try and kill it. You're manually pushing about the game, you press space bar. I do a mix of the two. They have grasps and deadweights. Seems good. Lurrus can play Flame of Keld in Historic. He can play Underworld Breach in Historic too. We played a Lurrus Breach deck that was, I believe the kids would say, lit AF, fam. What if we do this? Kinda wish I had one more land here. They can go land. They can go Lurrus Deadweight next turn now. They can replay their oven too. Yeah, we can kill their Lurrus at least. I think I'm just supposed to do this, ensuring through this Mire's Grasp. Hitting land drop seems pretty important. Have a good one, Dolomite. I've really liked Rix Maadi. It's been very reasonable. We have robbers in our sideboard. Chosen from Death's a good card too. We're gonna get to claim that one next turn. Huh. Do I claim this, or do I Lurrus get back Priest? I guess if I claim it, I can draw a card with Castle this turn, and I really don't want to risk losing... Well, they're gonna sacrifice their chosen death here. They're gonna get to escape Kroxa next turn, so I think I want to do this now. Because otherwise Kroxa is gonna take it away from me and I won't get to do it longer. That's a really good one. Deadweight seems pretty important in the Mire. I feel like if I was going to play this deck again, I'd probably... This is going to be our last match with this one for the day, but I feel like, based on how this game's played out, I think having some Deadweights in your 75 is probably important. An opponent correctly identifying how important that enchantment removal is, and you'll note that they prioritized exiling my Mire's Grasp from my Cratermaker with their Chosen from Death when they had it. I think we're probably dead at this point, huh? They're gonna need to bring their Chosen from Death back. Well, I guess if they bring their Chosen from Death back, they don't kill my Lurrus. So they're probably just gonna kill my Lurrus. That's fine. These Mires have a lot going on in them. My opponent's at 13 minutes now, and I'm at 16, so I'm gaining time. The timer could be a real consideration in this match, as far as going to 3 goes. Alright, so we're gonna go land, we're gonna put on full control mode, we're gonna bring back the cat. We're gonna play Kroxa. Gonna do this. We need to find a removal spell for this Lurrus, ideally. If we find a removal spell for their Lurrus, we're gonna be ahead in a really big way. Okay, so I'm going to call the Dark Dwellers, my Lurrus back. And that lets me Rix Maadi. And then they can deadweight this again next turn, but that's fine. Yeah, the Grasp got exiled. They were really smart about that. So they have deadweight to kill my Lurrus again, but that's going to give me another turn with my Priest, and if they don't draw a land, they can't escape their Kroxa next turn. So the fact that I have more mana here is a big deal as well. I talked earlier about how hitting a land seemed like it was a big deal, and I think feels like it's working out that way. If they hit an untapped land here, it's actually pretty bad for us, because they can deadweight plus Kroxa, but if they can't deadweight and Kroxa, I feel like we're in a pretty good spot. Whisper Squad. How many of those have I gotten? Is the answer none? I think the answer is none, right? Let's find out. Okay. So really, really, really want to draw a removal spell. Well, poop. I just got a message from UAW saying that they believe in science, so we're not going back to work next week. God bless. Stay safe out there. Just gonna go ahead and do this now. Maybe I should wait to activate a food, technically. I could go either way there. No point in attacking, because they have Cat Oven. They have to sit here and wait for them mechanically to go through this. And at least put mine back into play here. I was gonna stand through the rest of this set, but it's gonna end up being a 2-hour set because this match could go to time. Ugh. The cat oven loop is these mirrors take a while. My opponent is now below 12 minutes on their clock. I am at 13 minutes, so I'm up a minute and a half at the moment. Gotta keep getting that spacebar APM in. So, interested to see here if they elect to kill my priest or not. I kind of expecting them to do that. They could also bring back their chosen from death, but they don't have that much mana to leverage it. This is the last match with Red Black. We've been playing this one for almost 2 hours. Yeah, we need right click always yield to triggered abilities. It'll make these go a lot faster. Oh, I should have eaten that. Eh. And my APM cost me there. Trying to not time out. My reflex got me. Alright. Alrighty. And like something else to point out too, this game's currently incredibly close. And look at how many more lands we've drawn than the opponent. Look at how many more lands we've drawn than them. We're on twice as many in play, plus 1 in hand. I think I need 3 life more than I need another Whisper Squad here. Hey, Time Walk TV, thanks for the 10 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. They've drawn more ovens than us, that's true. They have an oven in their bin too, right? Because I destroyed one this game. Yeah, they've drawn all 4 ovens. I boarded in my removal spells. Being able to kill things seems really good. Where are the clocks at? Underneath my ad banner. They just dip below 10 minutes. I'm still above 12. Yeah, if they win this game, I'm up a game, there's a good chance they time out in game 3. Hey, no worries, Time Walk. Hope you're doing okay out there. Alright, now we both have Kroxas, so things are gonna get a little messy from here. Unless they time out in game 2, fair. That is, in fact, a possibility. What's the over-under on 3 minutes after getting reprinted? Probably close to 0. Actual 0? I'd assume 0. Alright, now I'm below 12 minutes. I'm up 3 minutes, though, so you can see my timer there. My opponent's timer is currently hidden, and I'm not taking the time to unhide it. I apologize. Oh, you know what? Maybe I should have left that in my hand. Nah, I want to draw a card. I have a Scorpion. I have way more cards in... Maybe I want to save my Kroxa and offer the trade, actually. Actually, I think because I have more cards in my bin, I should leave my Kroxa back and not do 3 to both of us, because they're currently pressuring us more, right? Yeah, I think this was a mistake on my part. I should not have done this. Yeah, the fact that we have Castle has allowed us to play through the Flood. The fact that we have a lot more lands than them. The Castle's enabled us to make that not be a big deal. Yep, that makes sense. Why should I sacrifice my Kroxa? Can somebody please explain? I should have kept the cat in my hand, because I could have discarded the cat to their Kroxa trigger. Yes, we drew more cards than them, just straight up. They have 39 cards. We have 20. We've seen 10 more cards out of our deck than they have. God bless America, my country. 'Tis of thee, Sweet land of liberty, of the icing. Bum 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 bum. Dum 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 dum. Do 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 do. I mean, their deadweight hasn't put in work, their Lurrus has put in work. And they've just, like, drawn more of their revives than I have and less cards in their deck. That's the unfortunate reality we're living in. But it's just on 20 lands? Yeah, feels like it. They've seen 21 cards. They've had 5 lands and 20 cards, working about 25% lands. The opponent's clock is at 7.5 minutes. I am at 11 minutes, so I'm winning the clock battle. I'm gonna make them put me to 0 this game. 100%. I kind of care about my rank. If timing them out in game 3 is a real plan, it's gonna be a real plan. Just got done dirty by Risk Factor plus a Boosh. That's gross. I held the mountain because I already played a land for the turn. Because I drew an extra card and I drew 2 lands for the turn. That's why I held the mountain. These things don't matter. Did you consider not drawing 2 lands in a row? Seems strategically unsound. I agree. I'm going to think about that play for next time. Yes, the opponent cannot get back their Kroxa currently. Oh, that's not true. They can sacrifice enough stuff to get back their Kroxa, right? That's fine. It's going to take them a lot of time. It's going to take them a lot of time to do it. So, take your game actions, opponent. There's their clock, so you can see. Enjoy. Oh, that's true, too. They'd have to eat a bunch of their removal spells if they want to do it. We're playing for keeps, chat. We're playing Black Red Lurrus. This is a try-hard stream now, okay? Black Red Lurrus try-hard stream engaged. It's been weeks since you started this, Maz. Please stop. Your family misses you. It has just been like a genuinely long set of Magic. What it like, taking time to figure out the math if we're dead this turn. You take all the time you need, opponent. I think we're dead here. I was probably better off not killing their cats. Yeah, we're dead here. I'm gonna make them take 30 seconds to kill me with game actions, though. This is one of those. This is one of those matches now. The Lurrus has menace. Is the reason why I didn't block the Lurrus with my 6/6. I guess I should have double blocked it. It doesn't matter. I think we were dead regardless. Alright, I'm gonna put the Scorpion back in because it gains us life, and the second game is just about not dying. What am I cutting? I'm gonna trim the 4th Whisper Squad. Do we bring in Shieldbreaker? Nah, they only have... I guess it's a creature still, too. Man, I should just put a 3rd Cratermaker in the sideboard. Cratermaker seems way better than this. Thanks for the 1.5 year anti-evil. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Alright, gotta try and not lose for 4 minutes, chat. 4.5 minutes. Yeah, Cage, Cratermaker and Shieldbreaker are both our anti-Cage cards. Type exclamation point decks in chat to get a direct link to all of my deck lists. God bless America. Yeah, when their timer hits 0, they just lose the game. I actually probably shouldn't attack here. If we're simply trying to not lose. I think with this drawn, I'm actually just going to play this out. It's like, hey, look, a distraction. Distraction cat, I choose you. And look how distracting it is. It's got like 4 eyes and stuff. Shouldn't be attacking. Shouldn't be attacking. Shouldn't be attacking. I'm gonna lose this in 3 minutes and be super tilted. Should have attacked that time before playing Mire's Grasp, though. You know, details. I think we're actually gonna lose this. The calls the chosen from death, and they have a deadweight in their bin. They get to Lurrus, deadweight my Lurrus. I think we're actually gonna lose. Man, that's frustrating. This card seems really good in the Mire. Deadweight's also really good in the Mire. Actually, just doesn't do anything, right? If this had been a deadweight, we might have been okay, because we could deadweight their Lurrus, and then like they couldn't kill our Lurrus, but they would just have this still. Yeah, the I clicked through it too. Alright, we're dead. I'm gonna be done for the day. I don't feel like playing anymore after that. Losing an hour-long match makes me salty. I'm gonna be done. That's super frustrating. Yeah, this build is not great for the Mire. What are my thoughts on things to change? This card seems stupid. I guess like, yeah, I don't this card, I feel like this effect is not, I guess it kills enchant. It's probably fine. I don't know. I want deadweights. I want some number of deadweights. Shieldbreaker is worse than Goblin Cratermaker. I think that's an easy change. I don't know how many Miregraphs, how many deadweights you play, but yeah, I don't know. Listen to Crokies, listen to people who have like played the deck a bunch. I definitely preferred the red build to the white build. The white build felt like it was trying to be more mid-rangey, and this archetype does not feel like it wants to be super mid-rangey. Maybe there's different builds of the white deck that are more aggressive than the one that we played today were, but overall wasn't a huge fan of the white build, and this one felt fine. Yeah, the format doesn't really cater to people trying to be mid-rangey super well. I agree. Maybe a good idea to replace one of those or something that could deal with cleave and instant speed. No, I think the cleave decks are good matchups. I think you can win some of the time when they do have cleave, and when they don't have cleave, they can just never beat you. I've been playing the Ubush instead of Black Red Lurrus, same shell, different deck. But yeah, a few people today have commented that they think the Ubush build is better than playing Lurrus, and I could see that. I could see that. All right, I'm gonna host Sean. I'm gonna hit one more ad roll, and I'm gonna host Sean when I'm done. Catch all of y'all later. Everybody enjoy the rest of your Thursday, wherever you're at. I'll be back tomorrow morning with some stuff. Peace.